Hi, I'm Reagan with Math Mentors, and today I'm going to be helping you with learning what is a variable. So, a variable has many definitions, but the basics of it all is a variable is a value that hasn't been defined yet. Now, oftentimes you're going to be asked to find what that value might be or to define that value. And I know definition sounds a lot like English, but trust me, it's still math. When we're asked to define a variable, oftentimes we'll use an equation to solve it for. For example, an equation could look something like this. Let's say I was a pizza store owner and I wanted an equation that I could use to see how much it would cost for a pizza every time someone ordered. So if one pizza cost $15, right? This is for one pizza. I would use the variable p. This is just a random letter, by the way. It could be any variable here. I could use p, y, z. Oftentimes it'll be x, but in this instance, we're going to use p. So it is $15 for one pizza, right? Equals the cost of my order, let's say, right? Um, in order to solve this, right, I would have to plug in one thing or another. So I could either plug in the cost of the pizza or how many pizzas I'm ordering. So if I was ordering 10 pizzas, right, this would end up equaling $15 for one pizza times, as there's an invisible multiplication symbol right there, times however many pizzas I'm ordering, which is 10, equals the total cost of how many pizzas this would be, or my whole order. And if we did some quick math here, that would be $150. But let's say I didn't know how many pizzas I wanted, but I knew I had an allowance of $300. You know, I got a really big paycheck in the mail and I wanted to spend it on pizza, right? So I would rewrite this as 15. Let me change this arrow. As we are now solving for p, but we have the cost, we would write this as 15 times p equals $300. Now, I know you might be thinking, hold up now. These are numbers, the 15 and the 300, they're on different sides of the equation. How are we supposed to solve that? Well, what we can do is we can apply things to both sides of the equation. So imagine there's an invisible line right here, right? I can do something to this side of the equation over here to the 15 times p, but if I do something over there, then I also have to do it to the 300 side. So in this instance, if I want to separate the p so that way it's all alone, meaning that when at the end of this, it would be p equals any number, what I would do is I would do the opposite of what is being done to the p. So right here we have 15 times p. So right here, I would divide by 15. But again, if I do it to one side, I also have to do it to the other. So I divide 300 by 15 as well. And this would leave me, again, if we do some sneaky quick math, P is equal to 20. So with my $300 paycheck, I could get 20 pizzas, which is a lot of pizzas, but I guess I'd have to have a lot of friends to enjoy that. Now, this is just a very basic introduction to what variables are. There are so many things you can do with variables, as everywhere around us there are unknowns that we don't quite know what they are or how to solve them for. But if we put them into an equation with what we do know, we can use them to find out what we don't know. Variables will be used throughout your entire math career and are pretty much one of the basic foundations of higher math, like calculus, algebra, geometry. They all use variables. So understanding the simple concepts of one, that whatever you do to one side of an equation, one side of the equal sign, you have to do to the other. Two, that a variable is any undefined value that you don't know but are trying to define. And three, that in order to isolate a variable, you divide or multiply or do the opposite operation for example, the opposite operation of multiplication is division, you would do the opposite operation to remove all the numbers that are on the same side as that variable, as we did with the 15 in our second part of our equation. With those three things in mind, you're pretty much set for a lot of variable equations. If you would like to learn more about variables, math, and things like this, or connecting like a mentor like me, you can go to mathmentors.us and find out all kinds of cool math tricks just like this. Thanks!